Welcome to the Positive Sports Podcast. I'll be your host this evening, Ed Montana. Alongside me today, my ace, my favorite gaucho, my brother, Alex. How you doing today, buddy?
I'm the only gaucho.
The only gaucho?
I'm the Brooklyn Gaucho. As a matter of fact, you can catch the Brooklyn Gaucho on Twitter, okay? If you have any issues reaching me out, reach out to me on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho. My brother...
I am not a gaucho. I'm a simple man. Always wanted to be 21. When I got to be 21, I was happy to be 21. Now that I'm not 21, I want to be 21. But you can reach me at eMontana21 on Twitter. If you want to reach the show, you can email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. Positivesports10@gmail.com. That's a pretty good intro.
That is.
It's better than the intro that you suggested earlier.
I don't even remember suggesting one.
You suggested that we welcome the fans by burping all of our information to them.
Well, if you would have pressed play at that time, I would have let one loose, man. I mean, I gotta go, okay? I mean, what do you want me to do? But listen, we need some music. We need a little bit of some tunes to start off the show with. Not this one, but maybe the next one or down the line.
Okay. All right. Yeah. No. I'm down. Look. I have no problem with the music thing. I like the music thing. I think it's a good idea for an intro to a podcast. My fear is I know that you want to sing, and it scares the bejesus out of me.
No, it shouldn't.
I've heard you sing. It scares the bejesus out of me. I don't want to scare them.
I mean, look, whether it's bad or good, we're going to get some views, man.
No, people are going to stop viewing. All of our podcasts are only played for like the first minute.
Yeah. Off.
And click, delete.
So listen, we got some flack this past week. I don't know if you've seen or you heard. We got some flack this week, okay? We haven't talked any hockey. The playoffs are here. The Vegas Golden Nuggets, whatever they're called.
That's terrible.
I'm sorry. The Vegas Golden Knights. They are having an incredible run, okay? Having said all that,
it's early.
Having said all that, there goes our hockey talk. Next topic, please.
No. We should give it some run. It's in the second round. Hockey's different from basketball because it seems more drawn. It almost seems more drawn out than basketball. They play the same number of games, but it seems like they play more games. It takes a long time, but it's good, man. The Pittsburgh-Washington series here in the second round is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
They always play each other.
I think they're the two best teams in the East. I mean, I know that they're not. There's other teams that are good and win the whatever the trophy is for the best regular season. But they're awesome, both of them, and that's going to be a great series. And the one with the Golden Knights, man, the Golden Knights are a pretty neat story.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, absolutely. They're an expansion team basically, and but hockey is so cool, but. By the time it gets to the Stanley Cup and they're all beat up and they all got those big beards, man, I love it. I love it. I watch it a lot. We don't talk about it a lot because you don't know shit about hockey.
I don't know a lick of hockey. Look, no, it's a great sport. I think what those guys do on skates is incredible. The goalies, I don't care how much gear they have on. I mean, I think they take a beating every night.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, props to them. I just feel I just can't get into it, man. I can't follow the damn puck. Okay, I need binoculars to follow that thing.
Yeah,
I just can't get into it, man. And
I love the stuff.
I kind of watch it during the Stanley Cup because it's the finals, and I'll watch the finals of anything. But I don't know. I feel like hockey needs the Game 7. You know what I mean? To attract,
draw people.
Yes, absolutely. But
yes and no.
Yeah.
I'd agree to disagree. So, the first round of the NBA playoffs is over. I went a whopping 6-2.
That's pretty good.
That's not bad. Obviously, I got torched by New Orleans over Portland. And my big upset pick was Washington. I thought Washington would beat Toronto, and that didn't happen. Toronto finally got that first round playoff win. So let's start in the East. Toronto and Washington. It was a pretty good series, a little bit testy. They played each other last year in the playoffs, and it got testy as well. Here, speaking of testy, the NBA needs to do something about there's one thing that irritates the hell out of me in the playoffs and in general in the NBA. I think the instant a guy stands over another guy, technical foul. That's it. That's it. You would eliminate half of the problems if you teed that guy up immediately. There was one between the Cavs and the Pacers, I believe, where, and it wasn't LeBron and Stevenson, there's two other guys. One fell to the ground, and the other one, to walk away, because the foul was called or whatever, in order to walk away, he stepped over the guy. Look, if some dude's going to flash his nuts over me when I'm on the ground, I'm going to get pissed. It's going to be a fight. The NBA needs to do something about it. They could avoid a lot of this bullshit by just, hey, you step over a guy, technical foul. I mean, this guy went out of his way to step over him. Sometimes I understand, he falls behind you and you lose your balance back and you step over him. Okay. But this stepping over him and look at my nuts thing is, you got to stop. It's not necessary.
Yeah, no.
And that has absolutely nothing to do with the playoffs. What other tangent can we go on? All right,
but that's a good point because the NBA, it's like they make up rules as they go. I don't understand sometimes. They have the most dumbest rules, and they do them on the fly.
All right, I feel like you need to lead the show today because I'm just out of sorts.
All right, so
back to the playoffs.
So the first round's over with. It's going to be the Cavs and the Raptors in the second round. Okay, Now, the Raptors have been a pretty even keel regular season team, but the times that they've played LeBron and the Cavs, it's like they lowered their standards, man. Like they just did not show up and play. LeBron's going to have to carry the Cavs all series long because he's getting no help whatsoever.
How many did he score today? 45?
Yeah, 45.
He's the man.
He's getting no help. So if he can just get Kevin Love to make shots and maybe Tristan Thompson to do a little more than just little putbacks and rebound, maybe get him involved.
How are they going to handle those guards? How are they going to handle Lowry and DeRozan?
I don't know, because DeRozan, that guy can ball.
Yeah, I mean...
The thing about the Raptors is that they're pretty deep. They play with their bench. Like, they play with 10, 12 men.
Yeah, they do. They play a lot of guys off the bench.
And if I'm the Cavs, I'm a bit scared because, you have trouble getting scoring from your starters. Their bench is not that much better.
No. They're the bench for a reason, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like it's gonna be a tough series for the Cavs, but that being said, I don't count out LeBron, especially against a team that has not shown a tremendous amount of playoff toughness in Toronto. So exactly. I actually think this is going to be a good. I think it's going to be an evenly matched series, but not a good series. Like I don't think we're going to see high quality basketball here. I think we're going to see two teams just slugging it out. One dealing with the pressure of the playoffs and what that all brings, and another one where it's one man and a bunch of other people just standing around watching them play. So it's not going to be high quality, but it is going to be close and entertaining in that way.
Give me your pick.
I think it's going to be the Cavs in 7. I think LeBron will find a way, and I think over the course of 7 games, they will find a way to slow down DeRozan and Lowry and put a kibosh on a team that's just not good in the playoffs.
Yeah, the Cavs are going to have to steal 1, maybe 2 on the road. The Raptors just don't come off as that team that they're going to lock down and say, look, we're going to come in and take care of business.
Yeah.
They just I got the Cavs in 6. I think they shut it. They finished off the series at home in Cleveland.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll beat the Raptors.
You think they will beat the Raptors?
I think they will beat the Raptors.
You do not think they
See,
will
I play both sides. See, I can't lose either way.
This is why you're never wrong. We were talking about this earlier I got them all right. I'm like, what are you talking about? You got them all right. You didn't pick the Pelicans. I said the Pelicans could.
That's
win.
right.
You're such a politician. You went on the wrong line of business. The other series in the East is the Celtics and the Sixers. Man, this is going to be an entertaining series as well. I think the Sixers are the better team today in terms of what they're going to put on the floor. But those young guys in Boston, man, they're looking pretty good. Jason Tatum is looking like the real deal. And and this sounds kind of silly because I'm not a Celtics fan, but I'm kind of excited to see Kyrie, Gordon Hayward, and Jason Tatum together next year on the floor. That could be
Don't forget Jaylen Brown.
Jaylen Brown's playing well too.
He's another one.
It's going to be and I think this series is going to be good because again we kind of are giving the Sixers a pass because they made it through relatively easily against the Heat, but the Heat weren't that good in my opinion, and they're still a young team, and Ben Simmons plays beyond his years, and Joel Embiid is one shove away from twisting an ankle or a knee or whatever. They're still a young team, and I still think they're kind of fragile in how this whole playoff thing works, and it's going to be a very interesting series.
Yeah, I like the Celtics, man. I mean, what they have done without Gordon Hayward, right, and then losing Kyrie Irving. I said a few weeks ago, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are going to be the ones that are going to need to play like true veterans, like they have playoff experience, and they have. But they weren't even the ones that really balled out. It was Terry Rozier. Yeah, I mean that guy played fantabulous.
He played great ball, yeah.
He played really good.
He shut down Bledsoe.
Yeah, I mean, and they're playing 1 through 5. They're playing complete basketball. The Sixers, I like Simmons. I just feel that they're going to shoot themselves out of this series. They are a happy 3-point team, and very few can win like that in the playoffs unless you're the Warriors or maybe the Rockets. I don't think that they're going to keep themselves in games. They're going to shoot themselves out of games.
So you're picking the Celtics here.
I'm picking the Celtics in 7.
In 7.
In 7.
I think it's going to be a good series, and I hate to sound like a broken record, but I do think the Celtics are going to win this series. I too have my concerns about Philadelphia shooting themselves in the foot, but I'll tell you what. If the Sixers won in 5, or the Celtics won in 5, and anything in between, I would not be shocked. I would not be shocked at all. I feel like either one of those teams can get on a run against the other and make it a 5-game series. I think they're that good. And the more likely scenario, I think, is that it is going to go 7, and it's going to be extremely exciting. It's going to be in Boston. And, I'm leaning towards Boston, but, I mean, I'm like at 50.1% Boston on the predictor scale.
Yeah, this is probably the best series that we have here in the second round.
Yeah,
right?
In terms of competitive and quality, having both, I think this is the best. I agree with you.
And you have Philadelphia versus Boston, right? As if the Super Bowl wasn't enough. Now they're
now you got basketball.
Yeah, now they're facing off here.
And two teams that traditionally have been rivals in basketball.
That's right. They have.
So maybe they'll bring out Larry Bird and Dr. J to do the ceremonial opening tip. Why don't they do ceremonial opening tip in basketball? What pregame ceremonial? Like they do the ceremonial puck drop, the ceremonial first pitch in baseball. They don't do anything in football. They should have a ceremonial tackle or something in football.
Yeah, like the XFL had with the ball on the 50-yard line.
That was ridiculous.
I mean, could you imagine like Jim Brown and like Emmitt Smith? That'd be great.
That would be hilarious. You get 2 old guys that can barely run. Okay, instead of starting from the goal line, just start from the 40. Moving on to the West.
So the first series, we have Warriors against the Pelicans. We both didn't think the Pelicans would make it this far, especially not me. So I'm surprised as heck here.
But the Trailblazers, they play those top teams tough.
They do. Listen, if we would have said it's the Warriors and Trailblazers in the
We'd
second
have something
round,
to go. We'd have something to talk about.
And unfortunately, we don't. I'm gonna keep this one short. Warriors in 5. I don't give the Pelicans much of a chance.
Yeah, I don't.
To be honest with you, I mean they played well. Don't get me wrong. I mean Drew Holiday, playoff Rondo, man. I keep talking about him. He's dropping dimes, making nice passes.
He is.
But unfortunately, Anthony Davis is the only scoring option.
Yeah.
And
that's
it's a problem.
That's a problem.
Exactly. So, I mean, Warriors in 5, man.
And the Warriors have so many scoring options.
Yeah.
Steph Curry's going to be back soon. Look.
He may not even have to come back.
He doesn't have to come back for this one, but he has to come back for the next one.
You mean Game 3? You mean Game 3 or the next series?
The next series.
I think he needs to come back this series.
I think
Game 3 would be good for him.
I think the Warriors will win this series whether he comes back or not. I think for them to have a chance in the next series, I agree with you. He needs to come back this series, get 1 or 2 games under his belt, and then be ready for whoever they may play in the second round. Probably a team that begins with an R, ends with a T, and has Ockett in the middle.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that. Anyway, yeah, the Warriors will be too much. The experience is too much. The talent is too much. The Pelicans are probably a year away and probably a player away from really making noise here. I hate to say it, but the second round in the West is, to me, it's just a placeholder until we get to the conference finals because I'm going to say something similar about the next series, and it sounds like we're both ready to move on, right? You got the Rockets and the Jazz on the other side. I think this series will be a little bit better than Warriors-Pelicans. I think the Jazz will be okay. I think they will play some competitive basketball with the Rockets. They do have more options. They're a young team who does not seem to be afraid of the playoff pressure. Not having Ricky Rubio is a problem. They need to get him back ASAP. But if he comes back, they could give the Rockets a few games. It was tough today. They won. They clinched their series on Friday, had to travel, and then play relatively early game on Sunday. It was tough today. You knew they were going to lose today. And by the way, the Rockets are really good. So, it wasn't shocking by any stretch of the imagination. But so I fully expect the Rockets to handle their business here and get us to the matchup that we all want to see. Or the matchup that I want to see. To me, that's the NBA Finals.
Think so?
Yeah, I'm not saying that whoever wins that series will win the championship, but to me, that should be the NBA Finals because you don't know what will happen during the course of that series, suspension or injuries or whatever, that would affect the series against, the Cavs, Raptors, Sixers, or Celtics. But to me, the best series that we could possibly have in this playoff season, Warriors-Rockets.
Yeah, hard to disagree with that. I see the Jazz giving a good run in the second game. I think it'll be a lot closer, but already down 1-0 on the road still. They played very. I don't know. I mean, OKC. They probably should have not went 7 with OKC. I mean, I
thought they went 6.
Well, did they go 6?
6. Yeah.
Well, whatever. They probably shouldn't have even gone 6 because I think the Jazz are better. They have a decent team. Rubio, not having him will hurt. By the time they get him back, they may be down 2-0, 3-0. I mean, Rockets in 6.
Ooh, I don't even know that it'll go that far.
Rockets
especially if Rubio doesn't come back.
Well, yeah. I don't know, I'm just throwing it out there.
I notice you're not writing these down.
I know. I don't write it down on purpose, bro. Come on now. But of course, we always got the pod to go back to.
Yeah, I see how this is gonna go. You're gonna rewrite history when it gets down to.
That's right.
To talking about it. All right. So we both have the Cavs. We both have the Celtics. We both have Warriors, Rockets.
Wow.
We could, one of us could just leave and do the rest of the podcast. Leave the other one to do the rest of the podcast, right?
That's
it's tough in the NBA. You just don't get a whole bunch of crazy upsets.
You don't.
I think you and I will have a lot to talk about when we get to the conference finals, though.
Yeah.
I think that's where it's going to be.
Yeah.
And then the finals maybe as well. I don't know. We'll see.
The 2 teams that I predicted in the beginning of the year, way before we started this podcast, are still alive. So
who'd you predict?
I can't tell you.
Of course you
You
have
want me to tell you, or you want to
Cavs
wait?
and Warriors?
Part 4, man. It's happening.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Please don't tell me you're going to go back to this conspiracy
No.
theory.
No. That's only for college. Yeah, no.
It's only for college
It's only for
football.
college sports, yeah. College basketball.
It's only for college football and moon landings.
No,
We never landed on the moon. It's bullshit.
I never did, so.
It's
I just see
it
pictures.
was all cinematography. Hey, if you guys want to send us comments about that, don't. I'm just joking.
Yes.
Quite frankly, I don't give a shit if we ever landed on the moon. I mean, except for the moon, except for moon cheese, which is pretty good.
Or moonshine.
Moonshine. Well, except for that moon stuff, I don't give a fuck.
But if you're watching this and you want to send us some feedback on our predictions and your second round of the NBA playoff predictions, go ahead and send them. Comment, subscribe on YouTube, email us, reach us on Twitter at Brooklyn Gaucho. That's me, my brother, at eMontana21 on Twitter.
That's right. Or you want to email the show, positivesports10@gmail.com, positivesports10@gmail.com. And it doesn't matter how you reach out to us, you're not going to get any solid predictions at the end because he's not, he's going to give you both sides. He's a politician. He doesn't look it, but he is.
I'm a crook with a title.
You're a broke crook. You're not a very good cook because you're broke.
Broke, man. This is all I wear, white t-shirts, man.
At least you're not wearing a wife beater.
No. Wife beater. Why did he call it wife beater?
Because everyone beats their wives.
I mean, like, what do they do? Do they take it off and then start doing it?
It's a wife beater. They don't beat them with it. That's what they wear
they just
while they're
snapping at him, right? That's wrong. We don't condone that.
You know what's funny about that is, I remember when I was a kid, our dad used to wear a wife beater.
Really?
Yeah, back in the day.
I can't imagine him with one.
With a wife beater or beating mom?
Both.
He never beat mom. God, I hope our parents don't watch this. Do you think they do?
They should. We're their kids.
Yeah, but they don't like you very much.
That's true. Damn it. Nice going.
They watch it and they hear me talk and they think that's great. And then you come on and they're like, oh, fuck. Never mind. Delete.
Unsubscribe. All right, so what do we got next?
What else has been going on in the world of sports this week?
Well, we just had the the NFL draft.
That's right.
And
how many... Is it me or did the Browns have like 38 picks and there were only 6 rounds?
Yeah, it's 38, 39.
They have an entirely new football team. Why did they just draft Alabama?
I don't understand. Matter of fact, I don't understand how you pick Baker Mayfield first. That's what I really don't understand.
The whole quarterback situation, to me... Look, they needed a quarterback. I don't disagree with that. But the whole thing of the ranking of those 3 quarterbacks, or 4 or 5, however many there are, it confused the living daylights out of me. So let's start at the top. We got Baker Mayfield, who went first to the Browns. This is what I think about that. No one was going to take him first.
Right.
No one. They could have traded with the Giants, the Jets, the Bills, the Cardinals. A whole bunch of teams would have jumped up to 1 to take one of the other quarterbacks, and they could have gotten Baker Mayfield down at 7, 10, whatever, and stockpiled more picks so that they could draft 38 people next year.
That's right.
Sometimes it's not about who you like. Sometimes it's about where does everyone have this guy slotted? And can I maximize what I have and still get this guy that I think... I'm not saying they're wrong for thinking he was the best option. I'm saying 99% of the NFL did not think he was the best option.
Otherwise they would have sold the farm for that 1 pick.
Yeah, otherwise, if 99% of everyone does not think he's the best, then trade out of the pick. Trade out of the pick and monetize that pick by getting more picks.
That, or you could have drafted Barkley, okay, who's an upgrade over your current Carlos Hyde and Duke Johnson, okay? you could have had a running back, probably a franchise quarterback, running back. I'm sorry, in Barkley, and then drafted a quarterback at 4. Rosen.
You probably would have gotten Mayfield at 4.
Yes, because the Giants. Who knows what the hell they would have done if the Browns would have taken, because they were sold on Barkley. So either way, they would have taken Darnold or Rosen, and then you had the Jets. The Jets might have snuck in there and taken Mayfield. Yeah,
I don't think so.
But I mean, either way, you would have had drafted one of the top quarterbacks at 4.
Here, let me ask you a question. So you've got Darnold, Rosen, Allen, Mayfield, and Lamar Jackson, which Lamar Jackson admittedly was very far away in terms of rankings. So let's just take those 4. Darnold, Rosen, Allen, Mayfield. Where do you rank Mayfield out of those 4?
4th.
Exactly.
4th.
So do I. So how do you take him first?
I don't know.
And that's my problem. And quite frankly, that's the problem with the Browns. They do stuff like that. But look, I don't know who's going to turn out to be the best. It's very difficult to predict. Right. I understand that. I'm not even saying that they're wrong for thinking that Mayfield was the best pick. But if you think Mayfield's the best pick and every other team in the NFL does not, get out of the pick. Especially when you have the 4th pick.
Exactly.
And you know the Giants were hot on Barkley. Everyone knew that.
They would have taken him at 1.
They were high as fuck on Barkley. So you know that if you trade out of 1, there's only going to be 2 quarterbacks taken. You're still going to have the option between Allen and Mayfield, Rosen and Mayfield, Darnold and Mayfield, depending on how that shakes out. I just don't understand. And look, if I can figure that out, I don't know how someone else could, you know?
No, look, we're by no means experts, but...
Shut your mouth.
But, you're right. My brother is by no means an expert, okay? But, I mean, it's pretty obvious, I think, to everyone that Mayfield wasn't top 2, top 3 quarterback. You know what I mean? And on top of that, they go ahead and draft at Ohio State a cornerback at 4. I don't know. I don't follow the Browns that well, but they could have gotten Bradley Chubb. The guy from North Carolina State. I mean, could you imagine him on one side, Myles Garrett on another side? I mean,
showing up that defense.
Yeah, that would have been pretty nasty.
I don't know. And the whole quarterback thing. I will give them credit. By drafting Mayfield, they're saying, I don't care what the measurables are. I've seen what this guy does on the field. He's a winner. That's what we need, and that's the way we're going to go. And they could be right. Tom Brady didn't have great measurables, right? But he was a winner and a leader, and somehow he, obviously some things fell in the right place for him, and he became the Tom Brady that we know now. I think sometimes we make too much of the whole draft thing. The combine numbers and whatnot. So I do commend them on that. I just think you could have maximized that. You could have gotten more out of that pick. The Giants, look, I don't know. I think it was a mistake to pick Barkley at 2. The drop-off between the first running back and the 8th running back, let's say, is not as big as the drop-off from the first offensive tackle to the 8th offensive tackle, right? And running backs, you just spent the number 2 pick in the draft on a guy who plays a position where the average career is 3 years, instead of an offensive tackle whose average career is 8 years. I just, for that reason alone, I can't do it. I can't draft a running back at 2. That just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, well, Gettleman was in love with Barkley, and he said it. He wants the best player available. I think he went and got the best player available. He went and picked up. Did he? Yeah, he's the best player in the draft. Yes, he is.
But
he's the best player in the draft.
No.
How is
no,
he
he's
not?
not. Because he's only going to play 3 seasons. The history says that he's only likely to
What do
last
you mean 3 seasons? The guy's 21.
But
running 30.
running backs don't last that
Dude,
long.
he's gonna get a 5-year contract, a rookie contract.
Contract doesn't
He's
matter.
good.
Contract doesn't matter.
He's gonna be with us until he's like 26.
Contracts they get injured. They don't last. They just
What do you mean
don't
they don't last?
Running backs don't last forever.
That's not true for every running back.
No, it's not. But there's a lot more Kajana Carters out there than there are Emmitt Smiths.
Okay, that is a complete foul, flagrant foul, penalty. There's no way you can. Look, I understand they went to the same college, but you cannot compare Kajana and Barkley.
I'm not making that comparison. What I'm saying is, you can't spend a number 2 pick on a guy at a position that is such a revolving door. You just don't get that kind of longevity out of running backs in general. Yes, there are running backs that last 12, 13 seasons. Emmitt Smith is one of them. But there's a lot more of them that flame out, that can't take the beating. It's just a different kind of beating in the NFL at the running back position than it is at other positions. It's just different. And the bodies just can't take it.
Barkley was the best player in this draft, okay? And should they have went for a tackle or a guard, maybe,
or even a quarterback?
No, because they're sold on Eli being there for another 2 to 3 years. So this gives. Barkley can basically block too, so and they have options. They have other weapons on offense. I don't mind,
but no protection for Eli.
They have protection for Eli. They have. They went out and got Solder.
Yeah,
the left side, it looks good. The right side needs some working. They drafted Hernandez out of UTEP in the 2nd round, so I think that's a big boy. He's a big boy. I hope he starts because what we have now on the right side is no good. But I'm okay with the Barkley pick. I have no issues with it.
I think you could have gotten more out of it. Well, I shouldn't say that. Not more. I'm not expressing myself
so you
clearly.
You think maybe they should have traded back and
No, I'm not saying that. I think drafting a running back at 2 is a much riskier proposition than drafting an offensive tackle at 2.
So let me tell you,
or even a defensive end at 2.
Okay, so
that's my problem with it. Is the risk.
Look,
I hope he's the bomb, of course, and I think he's going to be good. I just worry that running backs don't last, and we just spent a number 2 pick on it.
Let's see, 2006 or 2004. Name me at least 5 New York Giant running backs in the past 10 years. I'll wait.
Tiki Barber.
That's one. Fumbleitis Tiki? Yeah.
What's your point?
What's my point? Dude, we haven't had a running back in forever.
Yeah, but that what also that point is? Running backs don't last.
No, we have dude.
Okay. Let's go through the NFL. What teams have running backs that have lasted 5-7 years? What teams right now have 5-7 year running backs on their roster that are performing at a high level?
I don't know off the top of my head. If I can go through a list or whatever, I'm sure I can.
Bell
probably has 5 years.
Bell, okay.
Yeah, I understand your point. They're interchangeable, but you don't pass up on a guy like Barkley.
I can understand that argument as well.
You don't pass up on Barkley.
Tough call, man. Tough call.
It is. That's a scary pick to have. I was very scared of that pick.
The Giants probably had the toughest pick to make.
Yeah, but
I don't necessarily think it was a wrong pick. I guess the risk of it scares the bejesus out of me.
If you think that your offensive line can protect Eli, and if you think that Eli can give you 2 to 3 years, and you already did some work on the defense during free agency, then you go and you grab the best player in the draft.
What do you think about? All right, we've beat that to death. What do you think about where the quarterbacks landed? All the quarterbacks. So you had Mayfield at 1, Darnold at 4 with the Jets.
3.
3. I'm sorry, 3 at the Jets.
Allen with the Bills. The Bills moved up to like 7. Yeah.
And then Rosen at 10 with the Cardinals. If I'm Rosen, I find Mora, his coach at UCLA, and I beat the brakes off of him. Because I think Mora's comments hurt him a lot.
You think so?
Yeah. I think
that's half of it. I think Rosen hurts himself a little bit too.
What did you think about his comments that he was pissed about being drafted 10th and he was going to make the 9 teams above him pay?
I like it. I like that he's outspoken. Mm-hmm. He just needs to be careful. If the coach can, if he shows that he's coachable, he will be all right. Especially in Arizona. Especially not
if he is coachable.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. What did I say?
If he shows himself to be coachable.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Dude, stop confusing me. All right. And he's playing in Arizona where
no one gives a shit.
Exactly. I think he'll be all right there.
You don't think the media crush in Arizona is going to be tough for him to deal with?
Do
they even have media in Arizona?
When they host Super Bowls, they have a media day. That's about it.
It does seem, and I don't know if this is true or not because I've been to Arizona, but I haven't spent any significant time there. But it does seem like Arizona is just like a
chill place.
Let's just hang out, whatever. Same thing with Tampa Bay. Whatever.
Because the weather's so nice.
You think that's what it is?
Yeah, too damn hot.
Maybe.
And Allen,
I think it's good that he feels that way. I don't think it's smart to say that shit because look. Whether he's playing one of the 9 teams above him or the 22 teams below him, he just put a target on himself with all of those defensive ends and linebackers. You know that when they go to hit him, they're going to hit him. There's nothing that pisses defensive players off more than a quarterback talking shit about being disrespected. Because defensive players feel like, look, you got all the referees in your pocket. You got the rules, being tweaked to protect you. Yeah. And you're bitching that you dropped 9 spots. Here, how about this for 9 spots? Yeah. I think that's the part that concerns. Look, man, you're a rookie. Shut the hell up. Go win yourself a starting job. Do the best you can in Arizona. And if that fuels you internally, rock on.
But
there's no need to say it.
The Cardinals, I'm sure, know what they're getting themselves into, right? So, I think they got themselves a good quarterback.
And Darnold at the Jets. I think that's going to be great for the Jets.
That's great for the Jets.
The Jets need it.
If Darnold can learn under McCown for a whole season, I think that would be huge for him. And Todd Bowles, he looks like a player coach. Mm-hmm. I think that's great for a young quarterback like that. Now they just need to, I don't know, play football the right way because they always they always screw it up. So I think Darnold was an excellent pick for them, and they gave up a lot to get him.
Yeah. So yeah, they did.
So that was good.
And then Allen to the Bills. Saw that Twitter stuff came out about him making racist comments and whatnot, and that's I think that's trouble, man. That I'm not saying he's a racist by any stretch of the imagination. I understand he did it when he was in high school, but it's hard in a locker room with 55 guys to win over a team, especially when you're the quarterback, especially in a game like football where the quarterback is or has to be the leader. Yeah. The quarterback must be the leader. There is no, well, maybe it's the running back or maybe the running back can be the leader. No, it has to be the quarterback. And in that environment, it's hard to win people over when you've made comments like that. I hope those comments, A, were just immature comments made by a high school kid, and B, I hope that they can get past it.
And talk
Otherwise,
about
it's going to be tough.
Talk about being awkward. Are his teammates going to address that? You know,
I think so. I think some of the more veteran guys on the Bills have said it's something he's going to have to address.
Yeah. And
which I think is the best thing to do. Don't sweep it under the rug.
Right.
Address it internally.
Exactly. And then that will make things, smooth themselves out a little better. Just come forward and whatever, say you screwed up or you were young and dumb and whatever. But address the elephant in the room, definitely. Absolutely. And with Allen, the Bills need a quarterback.
Desperately.
Yeah. The main thing about Allen that I've heard is how inaccurate he is.
And he's going to play half of his games in Buffalo.
Exactly. Well, Buffalo, Jets, right? Miami.
Miami's not a big deal.
Right.
New England.
So
10 games a year. 10 games a year he's going to play in Buffalo, New England, and New York.
Yeah. That's not good if you're inaccurate. I mean, the wind...
Well, but the wind swirls a lot in that MetLife Stadium that the Jets play. Yeah. Maybe it will improve his accuracy.
Maybe.
It'll swirl it right into the right place.
Yeah.
That's
just
how that
keep
works.
Thinking that. That's probably what Bill fans are saying also.
And, the guy I feel bad for the most, aside from Baker Mayfield having to go to the Browns, I feel bad for Lamar Jackson. I think Lamar Jackson is better than... I think he's better than Allen.
Wow.
And I think I would have been much more interested in him in the middle of the first. If I was the Bills, I think I'd have been more interested in Lamar Jackson than Allen. Lamar Jackson's a winner. Lamar Jackson's a winner.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson can throw the ball. Lamar Jackson can make stuff happen with his feet, which is, I understand in the NFL not your preference, right? Because of the size of these guys, but he's a proven winner, and I like that.
I agree. I think the Ravens got a steal. They traded up, right, to the 32nd pick. So Flacco better watch out because maybe
Yeah.
Actually, I think his contract is up pretty soon. So
that Super Bowl contract of his.
That's right. He hasn't done jack afterwards, right?
No, not a thing.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Lamar Jackson's the real deal, so he may be a...
I'm excited to see him play with the Ravens.
Yeah.
I think it's a good fit for him. So
I agree.
We'll see. All righty, my friend. What do you think?
We're gonna wrap it up.
We go on to shout-outs and... Come on.
Let's go to shout-outs.
You going first?
Sure.
Go ahead.
My shout-out goes to... Britannia Soccer Academy. They are an academy here in... Actually, they're all over. They're in New York. They're in Texas. They're in Michigan. They have an academy here in Sugarland. Is it Sugarland? Is it Richmond? Richmond, Texas.
Outside of Houston?
Outside of Houston. A couple miles from Katy.
Which is also outside of Houston. Everything outside of Houston. And Today's geography lesson by Alex Montana.
All right, shut up. I'm doing a shout out.
My bad.
And so they are opening up a brand new facility out on 723 FM, which is also right there in Richmond. And
outside
of Houston. And it's like a big facility that is going to be pretty fancy, pretty nice. It's going to accommodate. It's going to be. It's not going to be on a baseball field. I mean, they're getting their stuff from Germany, shipped
outside of Houston.
Shipped to. Shut up. Shipped to. God damn it! Fuck it. I'm done. Go do your shout out. God damn it. I'm done. Go your shout out.
Go ahead, man.
No, I can't, dude. I'm done. Jeez. Look, Cespedes is going to be out 3 days now with a sore left thumb. Jesus Christ.
Your day's just getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
My shout out goes to LeBron James, man.
Fuck that guy. Out of all people, you shout him out? God damn, I shout out Stevenson.
Why?
Because he gets on LeBron's nerves.
No, hey, look. LeBron scored 45 points in Game 7. I know he had no choice. But it was, just a great performance on his part. The pressure of Game 7, I realized it was only the first round, and he's been through the ringer plenty of times, but it reminds you just what a great athlete he is. And a lot of times we get on him about just being LeBron. I think he naturally brings a lot of hate on himself, but he is still an unbelievable player, unbelievably clutch player today in Game 7. Really showed his mettle, 45 points and the win. So my shout out goes out to him.
He had no choice but to score 45.
Still did it. You could have missed and scored 25, and they would have lost by 15.
Whatever.
You want to finish yours?
No, I don't.
Britannia, the new facility.
I don't want to finish it.
Where's the new facility going to be?
All right, come on, we're done. That's a wrap. Hey, if you want to reach me on Twitter, you can catch me at Brooklyn Gaucho. Give us a shout out, man. Let us know what you thought about this podcast. Let us know what you thought about the past podcast. We would love to hear from you. We get some feedback. I would love to get a lot more feedback, negative, positive, constructive criticism, whatever, man. We can just BS and talk sports, talk running, talk whatever you guys want to talk about. Life in general, it doesn't matter. So remember, if you want to hit me up on Twitter, at Brooklyn Gaucho.
And if you want to reach me on Twitter, you can do so at eMontana21. If you want to reach the show directly, you can email the show at positivesports10@gmail.com. positivesports10@gmail.com. And with that, Alex, you should ignore the negativity. Be the positivity.
Peace.